possible to create lasting change really, really fast?
Hey influencers, the answer to that question and a little bit more in the video. Stay tuned. What's up influencers? In today's video, we have Marisa Peer. Now, Marisa Peer was voted the UK's #1 therapist. She has trained over 15,000 therapists and is the founder and creator of RTT, Rapid Transformational Therapy. So, Marisa, thank you very much for joining us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. So, Marisa, you have created Rapid Transformational Therapy. And as the name implies, it's fast.
Yeah, it really is.
Excellent. So, I have a question for you. Is it possible to create lasting change for anybody fast? And if so, what are kind of the pillars to creating lasting change fast?
Yeah, I think, I got a lot of flack when I named my company RTT. People would say, that's not right. And you can't possibly put the words rapid in front of therapy. It's long, it's detailed. But I thought, but why is it? Why do we believe it must be long? For some people, it may be longer. But you see, you get to change like that. In fact, you get to change twice every single day. The first change is when you change your thought, and the second is when you change an action. One of my friends always tells this story that she loved eating meat, and she went on a tour and she went into an abattoir and she came out and she could never eat meat again, even though she liked it. Something changed in her seeing those animals. And another of my friends bought chickens. And she planned to eat them, but she formed a relationship with them and she said, I can never eat chicken again. That was fast change. Sometimes we hear something, we see something, we go, oh, that's it, never again. Here's something that happens to a lot of people. They eat something. I ate some shellfish once and I was violently sick. And I can never eat it again. I changed in a minute, that minute being over the toilet break, you think, oh my God, I'll never eat this again. Yeah. But your mind picks that up. And so it's not true that change is long and hard. And I think we've been sold a lie, which is if you have a complex problem, then the treatment is complex. And I worked with somebody with OCD. She came in and it was very interesting. She had a very dysfunctional family. Mother had multiple partners, multiple children. It was all chaos. Yeah. And she created order. With OCD, the mind believes, I can't really control what's going on in here. But out there, if all the cushions are lined up, the silverware, I never tread on the cracks. In her case, she was showering and cleaning her teeth multiple times a day. And if she got it wrong, she had to start all over again. And the minute she looked at, oh, this is just my mind saying, control out there, because you can't control in here, but you can control in here. You can control your thoughts, which you couldn't do as a child. Her OCD ended immediately. And it's never come back. And so I'm not saying that for some people they don't benefit from longer change. I'm saying it's incorrect to tell everyone change is long, change is arduous. And people say things like, well, you can't change. It's like, of course you can change. You're changing every minute from the day you're born. And the thing is, you have to understand a ladder. Thoughts control feelings, feelings control actions. And we're so busy trying to control our actions and feelings. But you just got to go back and control your thoughts. Because when you change your thoughts, it changes your life. And that can be instant. People say, oh, is it a 21-day change? Can be. But it can be 21 seconds.
And for someone that's working with others, like a coach, a therapist, someone that's helping others, how can they help to influence that change? How can they help to bring about that for somebody that really desires it?
I think a lot of it is asking the right questions. So many people say things like, I always get ghosted, I can't find love, everything I touch falls apart, nothing I do ever works out. And of course, a good coach will start off with nothing. Or is that really true? You're telling yourself a story. And we get so invested in it when we retell it. I wasn't loved, I wasn't wanted, I was a mistake, I was adopted, I was never good at school. And we keep the story going. And I think a good coach or therapist listens to the story. I know with RTT, we train our therapists to wear 3 different hats. The first hat is you're a good detective. You are listening with fascination. You know, the word cure comes from the word curious. And when you are super curious, so I'll give you an example. A client came in to see me and she said, nothing works, you know. Don't even know why I'm here. And I'm not going to listen to the recording. You're making me, and I'm not going to do anything you say. And I thought, you could think, oh gosh, this is hard. But I thought, well, this client is fascinating. I think the more you can be fascinated by your client, the more fascinating they are to you. And I said, I just noticed something. Your eyes light up. You become very animated when you say nothing works. So I want to ask you a question. What's great about nothing working? What do you mean? Well, I want you to imagine if there was something great about nothing working. And she said, well, my son is paying for all my treatments. I'm going from person to person. Nothing works. And he's very worried about me. But if you fixed me, he wouldn't worry about me anymore, and he wouldn't come to visit me every week. So she began to see that she was actually invested in not recovering because there was a payoff, a benefit. And so I think with clients, it's important to imagine you're a detective. A detective, if you ever watch a movie, will lay out pictures and they stick them on a screen and they look. And they're trying to gather clues and gather information. And with our TT, our first hat is be a good detective, gather information, get some aha moments. I had somebody with conjunctivitis, and the first thing she said was, I never cry, you know. My mother used to hit me, my dad would say, there's no point hitting her, she won't cry. And she said, crying is a waste of tears. Which is interesting because my favorite expression is a very old one from Henry Maudsley that says, the feeling that cannot find its expression in tears will cause other organs to weep. And I wondered if the conjunctivitis was her mind's way of making her cry. So when you become a good detective, you're looking for clues, gathering information, picking up aha moments. And then once you've got all of that, and of course it's very important to do it with the client, not for them. I think the old therapy about, well, I'm the therapist and I'm going to tell you today that you do this because of this, or I'm the coach. I think clients love it when you get them involved. Why do you think this happens? Look at this. And so after you've gathered the information, you move from a detective almost to a dentist, and you start extracting all those toxic beliefs. I wasn't loved, so I can't find love. I didn't go to college, so I can't have a business. I didn't come, my family's got the depressed gene. And you begin to remove that. And then the final bit is you become a coder. And just like I would have someone come to my house and say, there's a bug in your computer and it's slow. But if I take the bug out and upgrade your software, you're going to have an amazing computer. I believe that we also have to take the bug out and upgrade our own internal software and put in better software. I matter. I'm lovable. I'm important. I'm significant. I'm enough just the way I am. So for me, I like to shortcut it and go back to, where did you ever believe that you're not enough? Who told you that? What did they know? Why did you buy into that? And once we've got that information, we can now remove it, and now we can install something better. And I think the 3-step process is interesting. I think the old way is, let's talk a lot about you, and this will go on for maybe a year. And maybe after a year of looking at how, what, where, why, maybe we can start some extractions, and maybe after another year, we can start some coding in. But the joy is when you do it all immediately, because the seamlessness of going from, look, you know, you have every right to believe what you believed. After all, when you were 4, your father left, your mother said all men are rubbish, he doesn't love us, he doesn't care, he's found someone else and we don't matter. Before 5, a child has no logic whatsoever, just feeling. So you had every right to feel what you felt. And by the way, any kid living that experience would have felt the way you felt. But actually keeping it now, all these years later, is hurting you. And the client begins to see, oh, I can give up a belief, I can change a belief, because your beliefs are yours to change. Your thoughts are yours to change. And when you change your thinking, it really does change your life. But when you make an effort to make your thoughts positive, your life becomes extraordinary. And you can do that in a matter of minutes if you have a great coach or therapist guiding you, shaping you, helping you to do that.
I heard you speak yesterday, and I think one of the great insights that you said is, what is the purpose of the mind? And so many people think the mind's purpose is to make you happy, but I remember you saying it was the purpose of the mind is to protect you, to keep you alive.
Yeah, the job of your mind is to keep you alive against what were once not great odds. If you watch Game of Thrones, you see something. Survival was a numbers game. And if survival was a numbers game, and you were rejected from the tribe or the fort or the group, then you would die. And so to this day, we think we're very fragile and rejection will kill us. We hear all these songs, I'll die if you leave me. I can't live without you. You're the only one. No one else. And then we buy into this belief that rejection will kill me. And actually, once upon a time, it might have been if you were cast out or banished, then you could have done. But now, it doesn't kill you, but we still feel like it might. And so it's important to understand the primitive mind, and its job is to keep you alive. And how it keeps you alive is almost from the minute you're born, you are hardwired to find connection and avoid rejection, because that's how we lived on the planet. It's how we made it. If I belong to a tribe, if I'm inside the fort or the camp and I'm accepted, but if they banish me or cast me out, I could die. And so we think we're very fragile and rejection will kill us, but actually it often makes you much, much stronger, because you think, oh, I've been through that. I was dumped, I was fired, I was left, I was abandoned, but I'm still here. So it can make you much stronger.
Excellent. Well, Marisa, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us today. And if people want to know a little bit more about you, where can they find more information about you?
If you go to marisapeer.com, we have a lot of free audios I've created. So I look at what clients really need: love, connection, acceptance, success. And so we have some audios on love blocks, wealth blocks, health blocks, success blocks. They're entirely free. Take as many as you need, give them to other people that need them. And if you want to train in RTT, go to rtt.com. And I have one other website, which is, I created the I'm Enough movement because I realized that all my clients at some level had the same issue. I'm not good enough, lovable enough, smart enough. And so we have these bracelets and we have stuff that we give away. So go to imenough.com, marisapeer.com, or rtt.com.
Thank you very much, Marisa. And as always, go out into the world and make an impact.